Finally, Mike suggested, "Let's meet alone. I need you." "But how?" "John is always around. Find a window, I'll be there." Fate intervened. "John's family. My name is Lena Thompson. I live in the bustling heart of Los Angeles, California, with my husband, John Thompson. We've been here for almost a year, since we got married and decided to leave our quiet rural hometown in the Midwest for the excitement of the West Coast. Today, I want to open up and share a personal story that burns inside me, a story of love, desire, and the unexpected twists and turns that life throws our way. Our marriage began like a fairy tale. John and I met in high school in our small town, where everyone knew everyone else's business. He was the sweet, reliable guy who worked at his family's hardware store, and I was the girl whose dreams were bigger than the cornfields around us. We fell in love young, ran away on a whim, and moved to LA to start over. No kids yet, just us against the world in a cozy one-bedroom apartment in Hollywood. John got a job at a big-box retail store, managing the electronics department. The hours were tough, early mornings, late nights, weekends. He'd come home exhausted, collapsing on the couch with barely enough energy for dinner, let alone romance. Don't get me wrong, I loved him dearly. He was kind, supportive, and always made me feel safe. But physically, our intimate life left something to be desired. John was average in every way, including down under. Its small size meant our meetings were quick and routine, lacking the fireworks I'd read about in novels or heard about from friends. I craved more, deep connection, long-lasting passion, that mental satisfaction. I kept myself busy with part-time work as a freelance graphic designer, working from home on logos and websites. It gave me flexibility, but also a lot of alone time. I took pride in my appearance. Regular yoga kept my body toned, healthy eating kept my skin glowing, and I had that classic American beauty, wavy brunette hair, green eyes, and curves that filled out my jeans perfectly. Strangers often complimented me on the street, which boosted my ego but also highlighted what was missing at home. Life went on in its predictable rhythm until one sunny Saturday afternoon. John had the day off, a rare one, and we were sitting in the living room watching a new series on Netflix. The doorbell rang, interrupting our comfortable setup. "I'll take it," I said, padding through the door in my yoga pants and tank top. Standing there from behind the house was John's friend Mike Reynolds. They'd grown up together, played football, and caused trouble as teenagers. Mike had moved to LA for construction a few years ago and meant to reconnect. He was a sight to behold. 6'2", sun-kissed skin, piercing blue eyes, and the build of a professional athlete. Broad chest, defined arms, and a tattoo peeking out from under his sleeve. His smile was infectious, white teeth flashing against a solid jaw. "Hey, is John around?" he asked, his voice a low growl that sent shivers down my spine. "Yeah, come on in!" I stepped aside, suddenly aware of my casual attire. As he passed, our arms brushed and I felt a spark. "Mike, man, it's been ages." John jumped up and pulled him into a brotherly hug. They sat on the couch, reminiscing about old times, high school jokes, road trips, the girls he'd chased before settling down. I hovered nearby, pretending to be discreet, but really listening. Mike's laughter was heartwarming, and every time he glanced my way, his eyes appreciative. It made my pulse race. After about 20 minutes of talking, John suggested, "Lena, honey, make me some iced tea, mind? It's hot in there." "Sure," I replied, heading to the kitchen. I sliced the lemon, added fresh mint, and poured the tea over ice, making it extra refreshing. Mike accepted with gratitude when I returned with the glasses. "That looks perfect." "Thanks, Lena." He took a long sip and sighed in satisfaction. "Best iced tea I've had in ages. You've got skills." I smiled and sat down next to him. "Glad you liked it." Mike's eyes widened. "You know, Lena, you're absolutely beautiful." "John, how did you catch someone like that?" John said proudly. "Good luck, brother. We did the whole love marriage thing, ran off and got married in Vegas." I felt a warm glow from John's words, but Mike's flirtation stirred the butterflies. The conversation got down to business, John's store drama, Mike's latest building project in downtown LA. During that, Mike glanced at me, shifting me to a seat. About an hour later, they decided to have lunch at a nearby diner. "See you soon, Lena," Mike said, his hand resting on mine in a handshake. I let out a sigh as the door closed. Mike was magnetic. confident, attractive. Everything John was but grown up. I shrugged it off and got down to household chores, vacuuming, organizing the closet, anything to distract myself. But 2 hours later, the doorbell rang again. Mike returned, clutching his phone charger. "Forgot about this. Clumsy me." I laughed. "No problem. Want to come over for a quick breakfast?" He stepped inside. "Actually, Lena, can I have your number? For emergencies or if I need to get in touch with John." My mind raced. It felt dangerous but exciting. "Sure," I said, typing it into his phone. "Great. I'll text you sometime." With that, he left. That evening, John and I had a quiet dinner, pasta and salad. We made love afterward, but my thoughts wandered to Mike's strong frame. John fell asleep quickly, but I tossed and turned, my body alive with unnecessary needs. I finally fell asleep. The vision of Mike dancing in my dreams. Morning came. John kissed me goodbye and headed to work. My phone rang almost immediately. "Morning, beautiful. Busy?" "My day has just begun," I said, my heart pounding. We chatted easily. About LA traffic, favorite hiking spots, even our guilty pleasures like reality TV. Hours passed. The pattern continued, daily calls turning into intimate confessions. We shared laughter, dreams, frustrations. One call I confronted her. "You were staring the first day. Why?" "You're mesmerizing, Lena. Your energy, your shut. It's addictive." Feeling bold, I requested a photo. Something fun. He sent one. Him at the gym, shirtless, muscles flaring. It was perfection. Fair, sculpted skin that begged to be touched. "Impressive," I texted. "John is half that." He chuckled in response. "Show me yours." I sent a flirtatious selfie, highlighting my assets. "Holy hell, Lena, they're incredible. John must worship them." "He does," I admitted. But the conversation fueled my thoughts. Our relationship deepened. I liked John, but Mike offered adventure. Friends' gossip echoes. Outside of marriage, it's intense, pain mixed with pleasure. I wanted that rush. Finally, Mike suggested, "Let's meet alone." "I need you." "But how?" "John is always around. Find a window, I'll come in there." Fate intervened. John's family called. His uncle had a health scare on his way home. They said we should fly together. "Go without me," I insisted. "I'll make arrangements here." Reluctantly, he agreed, packing for the quick trip. "Call if you need anything." The moment his Uber pulled up, I dialed Mike. "The house is free. Come on." He arrived with flowers. "Missed you," he said, kissing me deeply. I prepared dinner, steak and salad, but he couldn't wait. In the kitchen, he pressed against me, hands circling. "You're driving me crazy." His touch was expert, kissing my neck, making me moan. There was pleasure when he entered. We explored positions, and we played a cricket match. He hit good 6s and 4s. Tired. "This is heaven," I whispered. The morning brought more passion before he left. John didn't return any of the wiser. "Are you okay?" "You're hurting." "Fall during yoga," I said. Now we steal moments. Hotel rooms, quick meetings. Privacy enhances everything. John is my foundation. Mike is my fire. If this resonates, like and subscribe for more stories. Thanks.